what's going on, everybody? It's Tap Your Egg back once again with a quick little video for all my growers out there trying to, first time trying to grow grapevines. Want to start from the beginning. For the ones that already had experience, hopefully you catch something new. It's pruning season. Everybody's excited for that. We're trying to do something, more efficient when it comes to grapevine prunings. In my last video, I showed you something about on these vines, particularly in the beginning. These vines were on the bottom of this wire, actually on the very bottom here. That was not a good idea to do that when it's growing, because the problem is you'll have a lot of moist, you have a lot of issues with mildew and all that stuff, all this fungus catching up, and then when you come in through the spraying, it won't be able to penetrate once you come in with your tractor. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna hop on this side over here. We have this old vine. This old vine right here. It's one of the oldest ones, but see how it's on the very bottom. So you got all this going on. That's not good. So what we did is that before the pruning, we actually trained some new cordons that were gonna go actually on the top of this wire, and now you have it over here about your waistline. Now, this is the best way to do type of work for very efficient work when it comes to pruning, doing your leaf pulling, shoot thinning, and of course doing the proper what's it called? I forgot the word again. Let me get back at it. When you do the harvest. Now let's walk over here real quick. I'm gonna show you now the ones that I just done and finished. This is what it's gonna come up to be. Remember, it was on the bottom. Now it's up here. Because in the bottom, basically, it was almost about my knee. So that's not good. You'll be dragging your belly down, working all the time. You don't want to do that. You don't want to break your back all the time. But once you bring it up here, this is the results of what you get. A nice setup of a V shape with the spurs. Obviously you don't want to leave your cordons too long. You want to keep them short, that way everything matures evenly. You have to know how to do and how to leave buttons. You don't want to leave too many vines on the spur either. So it all depends on how you have your vines, how thick is your wood and everything like that. So we're just gonna walk around here and I'm gonna show you some of the work that I just been doing on the pruning season. We just keep them all the way straight up, Remember, just tie them firmly. That way the vine doesn't dance around when it starts to, having a lot of clusters and things like that. Make sure your wire is always tight, because if the wire is not tight enough, the vine will dance. It'll get, too heavy when it comes with the clusters, and, it'll start dropping on the ground. So let me show you one example of how we do this type of work. So here's one of them. This is the one that I was showing you. This one, I would rather have it eventually in the future. The one on top is gonna look like this one here on the bottom with the spurs and everything. But because we don't want this on the bottom, we have to cut it down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it down. I know it hurts my heart too, but it has to be done. But now over here on this side, you notice that I have the one over here on top. I already have it. So always remember, before you cut, you have to have your options, and make sure that when you have options, it's always quality wood. Don't choose just the suckers from last year. If you got good quality wood coming out of good spurs, those are the main ones that are gonna actually give you your best fruit. Obviously it takes about 3 years to give you the good product, but after the third year and fourth and beyond, it's when you start getting the quality good fruit. And obviously when you do that, you'll be able to mature the vine, help it out, do more efficient quality grapes on it. And so here we go. Let's come and do another one here real quick. So we got this one. This one used to be on the bottom, so I managed to lift it, because you can play with some of these cordons. They're not that hard, but once they turn into this wood right here, it's too hard to maneuver. So when you have a chance to actually mess around with these ones, go ahead and put it up on your wire. Don't be scared. Always make sure that you do ties firmly. Don't do them too loose, because if you don't tie them firmly, you'll have another problem. There's little details to it, but once you get it on lock and you have it right on position, you will not have any more troubles doing your work on the future, especially when it comes to the pruning next year. Right now it's a little bit slow. When you do this type of work, you have to go slow. You can't do it too fast. But for next year, because it's already on top of this wire where we want it, it's gonna be easy for you to come in and just do the pruning. And always remember, a hand space. later on the season, see, this is a hand space right here. You see the buttons 1, 2, and 3. Always remember, you skip one button. You don't count them all of them together like you see right here. 1 and then 2, 3. No, that doesn't work that way. You go 1, 2, and 3. The reason why I skip the buttons is because if one of these ones don't make it, then I still have my options of the other ones to keep, you know. Once it comes for the shoe thinning, then you go ahead and take down the extra ones. And that's gonna be another video I'm gonna come out during the season when it comes in when it starts pushing. For now, so remember, so how I was saying, this one was on the bottom. Now I put it up here. I made my V shape. Nothing's perfect. You have to use your how do you say, your experience and most important, have a good idea on how would you make a V shape the best way you can. So this, some kind of look funky here and there, but you know, just work with the vine. The vine will work with you. So now that we got all this V shape, the rest of it is history. Just go ahead and cut everything down. You don't want nothing on the bottom, because all these will take power from the main one. You always want to just make sure the power concentrates just on the main vine, and that's how you get, you know, a perfect production for each vine. You got to get the best out of each vine, but you got to know how to play with them. Sometimes, because you do have to bend them, they'll break, you know, it happens, but try to do your best not to break them, and you'll be all right. As long as they bend around you, you'll be okay. You know, you don't have no problem. Here, this is another one right here. This one's just a single one. The other one that was actually older was on this wire again, but we didn't like it. We just had one of these ones gonna go straight up. You bend it over here and you put it up there. Normally, if this rebar would have been a little bit higher, what I would have done is I would have just tied up to the actually rebar and then cut it below 4 fingers below this wire. The reason why I say this is because from this I will make sure that this right here, the body will get stronger, bigger, and maturing like the one on the bottom, and that way every single button is gonna be your option for next year to make a V shape. But since you can do it, there's different ways. For me, I just threw it up here on the wire. It's gonna work perfectly. Once I have shoots coming down from here, I'm gonna choose the best one so I can shoot it on this way to make a V shape. For now, we just let it be. Let's get the mature perfect. We do what has to be done as soon as it comes with the shoe thinning. And the same one over here. See, we got one over here. I tied it up, brought it up to the way up here. This over here are no longer useful now that I got everything where I want it. So now you go ahead and just cut everything down. Sometimes you have to make bigger cuts with your bigger pruners. You have to cut about right here, clean everything, make sure the very bottom of the foot is clear. Especially some are grafted with the male plant. The female's grafted onto the male plant, so the male pushes a lot of roots. It's just, you know, it's powerful. It has a lot of power, so you got to make sure you clean everything out. No matter what, they're gonna regrow, but every year you make sure you clean, because if you don't clean, you'll have a big problem with a lot of shoots on the bottom, and all those shoots will get more power than the ones that are getting on top, and you don't want to do that. So make sure you just clean everything out. Just clean. Just be careful you don't hit your face, because these things will hit your face and it hurts. I hit my face earlier. So so just to show you a quick little video. So we come back over here to the ones that we just finished doing, and this is what you want to end up with. Nice V-shaped vines. If these ones don't have a option to do a V-shape, just go ahead and do one arm. You don't have to worry about it. It just, some of them won't give you that, you know, the option. Like for example, this one right here didn't have it to do the V-shape, but it's all right, because later on something's gonna grow from right here on the bottom, and that's gonna help you, you know, make your V-shape cordon. And just keep going, moving along, and see now, once your V shapes that you had made, they're gonna start maturing like this one right here. Now you see you have spurs. You make sure you leave your 2 buttons, depending on how thick is the main branch. it's how many buns you leave. Sometimes you have to leave it as one bun because they're still too tender and they will not, be able to handle two buns at the same time. But other than that, you just keep moving along. Right now we just pruning, getting everything ready. Somewhere we're not tying yet, but the person that's gonna come behind us and tying, they'll know what to do. They'll see if they have to shorten up, the cane a little bit longer. Like I said, don't leave them too long. A lot of people like to put them on the wire and then let them a long 10 feet away, and that's not good because they just doesn't help you out and on the long run for production. So this is the pruning. Hopefully you guys catch something. I'll be putting more videos later on, and if you guys got questions or anything, go ahead and drop a comment on the bottom section. I will try to put a YouTube channel so you guys can come back and check them out. Hopefully you guys like it, and I'll see you on the next one. Tapiag.